Drop, fall, Welcome back to the show, everybody. Good evening, folks. My name is Delta Niner, if you believe my passport. Good to see everyone here. Oh, God, the camera. Why? Who the fuck rubbed Vaseline on my camera? Hold on. Give me a sec. Okay, fixed. Literally just got to turn it off and on again. That's better. How we doing? I see Sophisto and Luxie in chat already. Have fun lurking, Luxie. We're happy you're here. My beard itches. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. It's okay. No need to panic anymore. We're good. Hope we're all doing well. God, what's cables on my desk? Ah! There we go. Life is chaos and you're tired and would like to settle down. God, me too, Sophisto. Me too. I hope it's not unmanageable chaos. That would definitely suck a lot. It's not unmanageable, just tiring. Yeah, I feel that. Been feeling that way basically the entire summer, mostly because of work. But that's how it be sometimes, I guess. Just how it is. But as long as you're getting by and living, that's pretty good. Not much to say about on my end. It's been a week. Oh, there is something I can't say. I think I can say this. Getting a new boss, actually. My general manager is going back over to the Houston store. So we claimed another one. They started this week and they're getting to know all the rest of the staff and how we operate here. So, you know, it's something. Here's hoping this boss is better than your previous boss. We'll find out, you know. They've only been here for a couple of days, so... And I haven't been able to talk to them much, so... I don't have an impression yet. We'll see. Anyway... if you remember words hard. If you read the Discord messages I put in the server, you probably know what's up. I'm putting Road Warden back in the personal play pile. Boy, because I don't think I could do 3 straight hours of reading text again. That hurt. So we're switching gears to another game I've been looking at. The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Brante? I don't know. One of those. I know also nothing about this game, so yay. I'm sure it'll be good, though. Seems highly rated. You need so much water, so much hydration. Yeah, you'd think the mini fridge would help, but I keep running out. I can only fit so many bottles in there at a time, so... You know, I run out during the day. Either way. It is, after all, a frigid mini and it's summer. Yeah, really. Thankfully, I think we're getting past all the stupid summer heat. Maybe it is Texas. I don't know. But we did just get a huge storm past couple days, so at least it'll be more humid than deathly hot. Anyway, that's enough small talk. I'm gonna go boot up the game before I embarrass myself by being quiet. Thank you, Spotify. Boop. And over the window. Here we are. The life and suffering of Sir Brante in times of the fall and the blessed Arcanian Empire. That is a title. Damn. Take a look real quick. Ooh, subtitles, please. Alright, that's pretty straightforward. That's a long title. I think officially it's just the life and suffering of Sir Brante. But, you know. Again, I have no idea what this game is about. I got it as like a small gift from a friend. So let's see what happens. Choose your name carefully. Other characters will dress you exactly like this. Ooh. You will see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you will be able to direct the character's fate in any way you want. You can change the setting at any time. Let's play open. It is recommended after all. You'll be able to rewind to the beginning of any chapter you complete and continue from that point. You cannot. You will live the character's life from start to finish and endure all mistakes and misfortunes. Well, let's just go with that for now. So Brante's the last name. What's the first name? What are we thinking? What about Rufus? What phone? Yeah, we'll go with this. This feels fitting. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping, unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and the world? It all depends on you. Oh boy, they're up front with how bad this is going to be.
The story of my life remains written on these pages.
Thank God, voice acting.
But my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
No pressure or anything? Yeah, really. Kind of reminds me of another solo RPG game I know of. Thousand Year Vampire, they are also very upfront with, hey, this game's gonna have a lot of awful shit in it, and you're probably not gonna be able to control it exactly as you want. We hope you're okay with that. Anyway, at the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink. Your breathing goes ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you? And how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or lowborn commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life in a war drenched in blood, high ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces. So many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and joy inextricably intermingled. Excuse me. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life, of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? The man himself, the world around him, a higher power, or there is none? This feels like a very philosophical question. Based on my own personal beliefs, I'm going with the man himself. You can hear Death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Rufus Brante will live once more. Fascinating. Chapter 1, Childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many faithful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? It is the year 1118. Growing up. In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of the prologue, you will determine the state and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood would he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Rufus Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Alright. Here we go. Ooh. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen here. Fencing lesson, beyond, an epiphany, nobleman's sacrament. Interesting. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. Oh! I didn't know that's a thing here. Alright. Your personal qualities at this age. They may determine which choices you may take. Determination, perception, willpower, and deaths. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths you have experienced. These will stay with you your entire life. What do you mean, lesser deaths? Sections that open to this shower. Destiny, personality, house, family. Okay. Let's begin. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation. Nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. I too would like to know what left their deaths is supposed to mean. Hey, I guess we'll find out together. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you were lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You were not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in a form of a desperate scream. The creators extend their hands toward you. There are two of them, the ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft, open palm, a strong, closed fist, a lingering, distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Reach out to the palm. Reach out to the fist. Smile at the shadow. I honestly don't have a plan for this guy, so I'm curious as to where this will take us. Let's go with perception. Your little palm awkwardly clasps the soft finger. You explore your mother hands by touch. She smiles gently as her arms wrap around you and lift you up. She smells of home, that indescribable smell, that feeling of safety that is second to none. Her embrace is the warmest in the world, a place you want to stay for all eternity. Welcome to the world. Now 11:19. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Robert Brant. Hello there, little Rufus Brant. +2 relations. Whatever. A nobleman of the mantle and a judge at the Anazat Prefecture. Following the footsteps of his father, Gregor, he's earned a noble title and a position at the prefecture. He works tirelessly in his judicial service for the sake of his family. He took your low-born mother, Lydia, as his second wife, thereby jeopardizing the family's noble future. Oh, great! Noble bullshit. Love it. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. Lydia Brant. A humble commoner from the outskirts of Anazat. Neither her lowly origins nor the fact that your grandfather directly forbade the marriage stopped your father from taking her into his home. She now manages the household and raises Robert's children. Your mother is devoted to her faith and insists that her children observe their lots. Yeah, double bullshit. Of course there's stuff like that. There are 2 more children in the family named Stephen and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stephen likes to take you... Stephen or Stefan? We'll go with Stefan. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you in the air. Oh look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together. But I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Rufus, let's go play in the yard. Stefan. Robert Brant's son from his first marriage and noble by birth. From a young age, he's been striving to be first in all things and demonstrate his superiority to the family. Gloria, on the other hand, the illegitimate daughter of your mother Lydia. She has never met her real father. Her position in the family is precarious. Robert Brant has never acknowledged her as his own daughter. Your sister is a dreamer. She often has her head in the clouds and can act recklessly at times. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at the shiny pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he going to play? Then you hide him, and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other. Your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason. And then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? Well, fuck this. I'm going home. You get up on your feet, swaying a little bit. Carefully, you take a first step, then... Thank you, Sophisto. Carefully, you take a first step, then lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you are determined. You get up again and keep walking in the direction Gloria went. You walk out of the bushes and further toward the wall of the house. And then the most tender and gentle hands in the whole world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. There you are. You lean on Mother's chest and hold onto her with your arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself, without any help. She pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She's here now. One more year. I suppose we're only doing significant events. Ooh, boy. Loud kitchen noises. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house, giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong. What? Huh. Okay. This is an interesting tradition. I get the feeling they really take the will of these gods very seriously. Alright. Moving on. It is quiet. Unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice. A lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them, 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight, they protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. I'm uncomfortable with this already. Live your lot where you were born to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. Huh. This is a very deterministic hierarchy. You are transfixed by the tune. Oops. Gloria notices your gaze and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Rufus? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar. And if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lone born. Mama's a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge two figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Are these the gods? Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? Finish properly, sing it wrong. I'm going to go with the idea that he's just literally 2 and he's just going with it. He does not know better at this point. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You sing the last line together with Gloria. Your sister looks up at you in surprise and gives you a nod. The shining pair is standing behind her back turned to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Gloria turns her head to look at where you were staring. Did you see something, Rufus? You shake your head. Not anymore. "3 years old. Oop, Papa. Year 1121 spring, origin. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service. But your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Okay, so do they have the shining pillar instead of the sun? Is that what is that the implication here? Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night. But the light is too blinding to gaze upon. Okay, no, it's just a... Okay, no, I think there's a normal sun, then there's the pillar, which is basically a big-ass star. Got it. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb, and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. A big-ass star on the planet? Well, maybe it's more of a tower. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be. A boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find these stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. It's as bright as a star on the planet? Close enough. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. Man, I still gotta do a lot of reading here. God dang it, I can't escape it. Ugh. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch in your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Rufus? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm going to hit you with a real sword. Wow, you're a dick. Damn, dude. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Man, I don't like that. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. Man, I don't want to fucking lose willpower. Tell me why. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father's a noble? If you have a father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother is stunned by all the questions you're peppering her with. Don't you dare ask me about that, Rufus. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I am a commoner, not a priest. You are... Ooh, damn. There's blood on the page. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. It feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you're finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book on your bed. The Teachings of oh, God, hold on. Isatius, Volume 2. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twin's judgment. And when the body dieth a true death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followeth his lot in life and from birth shall be met in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. Was I just handed a Bible? Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Rufus, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. But today, your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and shows you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servant joins you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry, her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. Fuck off, man. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learn how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Huh, that's an interesting thing to blurt out. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. You retreat to your room without saying a word. You comfort your sister and say Mother's wrong. Well, I lose willpower, but I have a good relationship with my sister. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me? Really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. You're the best little brother in the world. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets. Always. Status grateful. Hooray! Okay. Haven't quite got there yet. Here's us. Oh shit, you can die 4 times. What the hell? Here's the house. Tarnished honor, moderate means peace. Current heir, Stefan. There's Gregor. Oh, okay, Amalia is dead. Your father's first wife passed away soon after giving birth to Stefan, never to be reborn. She was a noble woman of the sword and sister of Augustino Born, a powerful family friend. The match between her and your father was your grandfather's doing. Amalia is said to have been a striking woman with a forceful personality who was proud of her noble origins. How about Gregor? The head of the Brante family and a nobleman of the Mansell, a senior judge at the Anisot prefecture. He was the first person in the family to get an education and achieve a noble title. His dream is to see his family ennobled by the sword. A fierce defender of the ancient order, he is preoccupied with arranging the future of his family line. Alright. Where? We move up a year. Year 1122 winter, the coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you will walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. That doesn't sound or feel like a blessing? Not to us. No, it does not. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like it's all the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Boo! Of course there's going to be disagreements. You got two whole different classes in the house. Yeah, boo. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him, oh no. The two of you will play together and tease Stefan together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. It feels strange to be an older brother. Just the other day, you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out, she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting. But instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Rufus, you're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Nathan leaps... Oh, boy. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Ah, man. Well, that's locked off. Damn. Hey, look at me. I'm the problem, not him. Mother keeps shaking Nathan violently, and you cannot stay away any longer. He is no longer bawling, he is shrieking. Leave me alone! But then out comes your voice, so loud it drowns out their cries. No, it's not Nathan's fault, Mother. You're just tired. Please don't do anything to my little brother. If you have to punish somebody, punish me instead. He's too young. He won't understand. Your mother freezes and looks at you. Her eyes narrow to slits. Her stare is cold and full of pure wrath. So pure, you cannot help but recoil in fear. Are you trying to teach me how to take care of a child? Are you giving me lessons on calming a newborn baby? You're insolent, insipid, nagging know-it-all. It's time you learned your place. She puts Nathan on the bed sheets, then moves towards you. You step back, but a closed door blocks your way. She slaps you across the face. Your ears ring from the heavy blow, and your cheek burns from her wrath. You wince and close your eyes, expecting a second slap. But nothing comes. Oops. Nothing but Mother's heavy breath and Nathan's shrill cries. Then there is a knock at the door. You step aside. Father walks in. He looks at you, clutching a reddened cheek, at the bawling baby, at Mother, her eyes red with rage and tears, her breath heavy and ragged. What in the fuck is happening here? Suffering! Woo! It's in the title of the game! Also, hi, Cozy. Go to your room, son. I'll join you soon. You do as you're told. Back in your room, you press your aching cheek against the cold window, hurt and dazed by what just happened. Soon enough, Nathan stops crying. You hear Father's heavy footsteps in the hallway. He comes into your room and sits on the bed next to you. Son, please do not be angry with your mother. The twins know she wishes nobody any harm. This is a difficult time for her, but we will make it through it as a family. You stepped up to protect your brother. You acted like a little nobleman today. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Nathan are resting now. How bad does it hurt? You shake your head. Not bad, but your hand still aches to clutch the cheek. Father embraces you with a sorrowful smile and gingerly pats you on the head as you press your forehead into his housecoat. Things grow calm now. The trouble is past and you're quietly happy. So, to catch you up to speed real quick... Oop, there's a milestone marker. To catch you up to speed real quick, we are in the early childhood of Sir Brante's life. From what we understand, there are two gods who decide the fates of literally everyone in the world. You've got the noblemen who are destined to rule over everyone, the priests who are destined to teach everyone about the gods and the pillar and whatever, and the commoners who are meant to suffer and do all the labor. I still cannot tell if this is an actual god's thing or if it's just societal. Anyway. Sick, predetermined suffering. Yeah, really. And we, as Sir Brante, were born to a commoner woman, so we are also a commoner, despite our half-brother being born noble. So he's an asshole. Yeah, you'll find out later, probably. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally back home after a long trip. Rufus, today is your special day. The day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. Yeah, fuck you, get excluded. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anazat. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There's a big shadow in the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches above all the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. Oh, so that's not like a law thing, it just can't. Cool! Eternal tree! The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You'd never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided in the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming her city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Wait, you're telling me they sell action figures of these guys? They sell action figures of the invaders. That's kind of funny. In a slightly morbid way. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there's a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He's about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly and everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Rufus? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? I would like to get a little bit of willpower back. But kind of wondering if honesty here might just be like yeah, I hit him, so what? Rich prick? Yeah, we'll go with this. You hide behind father and deny all wrongdoing. The boy was too clumsy. Now the father's come face to face. Your father is calm while the enraged nobleman pelts him with insults and reaches for his sword again and again. The insults do not stop. In the end, the nobleman challenges father to a duel. There's only one way to protect the family honor. Father grudgingly accepts the challenge. They bring him home much later with a fresh wound in his side and another on his shoulder. You spend his entire day by his bedside doing whatever he says, overcome with a mixture of shame, guilt, and gratitude. Even though father rarely shows it, he would readily risk everything for his family. When father's wound heals, he brings you the belated present. A little box full of soldiers, the Holy Order made of tin. You line the warriors up in battle formation, only one thought on your mind. Your family is always by your side. Well, that's something. All right, we're now 6. Year 1124 summer, the family dinner. Today, father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden. And now at dinner under the open sky. Thank you much. Oh, thank you. Cozy brought me water. Ugh, that's better. Holy shit.
I don't want to do a reading heavy game, and you picked a reading heavy game.
I didn't know, okay? I knew nothing about this game. It was kind of a gamble.
Yeah.
Cozy's giving me shit for reading again.
Fucking nerd.
Your entire family gathers together with Father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny sing-song voice. Does Cozy expect you to be precognizant? Do you expect me to be precognizant?
No.
Answer the question from Sophiso.
What was the question?
Do you expect me to be precognizant?
No, I expect you to look at the Steam page.
I did! The trailer had voice acting.
Oh.
Shut up. More water. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Your mother shows your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel the cold in the dust tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anazat. He is the head of our family. My father. Is he taking charge? Your grandfather, Gregor Brante, returned to the family home from the capital. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she'll be flogged if she's ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day, your grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stefan, Gloria, you, and Nathan, the entire Brante family, stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that lowborn wench cuts us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. Asshole! Asshole alert! I knew someone was going to do that, thank you. I have been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How could you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, Father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twin swilling, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stefan with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined, room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib and mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this? Robert! 10 soldiers in your youngest son's room? He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather seizes the box containing the 10 warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. I definitely don't want to strike this man. I'm gonna fucking die if I do.
Fuck.
Yeah, see? Death's +1. I was right. I'm gonna fucking die if I hit him. You got 4 deaths, though. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Fuck this guy. Get bitch slapped. Overwhelmed by helpless rage, you run to grandfather and kick him in the leg with all the strength you can muster. Yet he is immovable. The next thing you see is him leaning, towering over you menacingly, his heavy walking stick in hand. Oh, bored scum! How dare you raise a hand to me? The blow hits home. The handle of the walking stick is as heavy as a rock. You are dazed, robbed of both hearing and sight. Down comes another blow. A sharp pain splits your head. Then darkness. Your hand twitches against your will, then again and again like it is trying to catch a flying butterfly, and you fall into the primordial void. The void takes away a part of you, one of the lives you were given to live. It will never return. There is pain and desperation and a sense of loss. Nothing can be done now. You fall into a pain that embraces you like a soft featherbed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you. Their touch is soft, they delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before, something absolute and complete. You touch something greater, the reason behind everything, the reason for your very existence. You were sculpted from this light. It was the first thing you ever felt. A boundless and sincere unity of the diverse. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions. And now you are here again, one with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming from you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it, in the north, as always. The waves of light carry you to 2 figures. The elder is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know who he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-like kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this, and they love you. You will never be alone. You are a part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on, to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer to you get to the silver tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you down along its trunk, but you do not wish to part with the love, warmth, and softness, with the love. You turn around. The elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go. Your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tumble down towards your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not only in the hereafter, it is present in the entire design of the twins that is the origin of all life in this world. What is the manifestation of this love in your mortal life? Love of empire? Love of lot? Fuck that. Love of family? Love of cause? Love of yourself? Or nothing? That's boring. We're not going with that. I'm going to go with family. Because I don't like this answer. This is a boring answer. That I'm curious about over here. But I feel like I've gotten some stronger bonds going already, so family. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind. But then it fades away and vanishes. You regain the sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks that lightness, that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air. Your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them. Revolting, but so real. You are back. All right, death wine. Then you smell a sickly, moist smell. You feel the dampness all around you. You come back to your senses in the gloom of the family crypt lying flat on a stone slab. Your parents are on the way to the crypt right now. You hear their muffled voices. They are arguing, and against all rules, Mother will not agree with Father. Why would Sir Gregor do this? He just took one of our child's lives. Lydia, my family is our family's head, and the boy raised a hand to him. There was nothing we could do. And Father did admit he was too hard on him. Please do not anger Sir Gregor. You need to accept this. It will never happen to any of our children ever again. Their voices grow quiet as they lean over you. You lean on your elbows to try and get up from the stone. Mother gingerly wraps her cloak over your naked body as you shiver from the cold. My son, your first death came far too soon. I know it may be difficult to realize what happened, but know this. The twin gods are ever merciful. You are a child, and your time to leave for the hereafter has not yet come. You will be returned here by the gods twice more. But do not tempt fate again, and never, ever defy those who can easily take your life. Rufus, you have angered your grandfather greatly. Do not stand in Sir Gregor's way ever again, and he will never hurt you again. For now, just stay away from him. Yeah, okay. Father stays a step away from you, not saying a word. When Mother finishes talking, he picks you up and carries you outside. Together, your parents take you from the family crypt. On your way out of the crypt, you take a moment to touch your head. It is perfectly fine. There is no sign of the blow. Back home, Grandfather is still walking through the house examining the rooms. You see that Stefan and Gloria are disturbed by what just happened. Nathan starts crying when he sees you. The playroom still reeks of burnt paint. There is something new about you now. A pitch black stripe on your left arm. It looks like a strange bit of dirt at first, but it will not wash off. It will be like that forever, Mother explains. That is all she will say of it. -2 distaste. Yeah, it's mutual, buddy. All right, we did it. Oh, hey, this is shining now. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Ooh. Cool. Let's see this. Ooh. Okay, we're on the Epiphany now. Your younger brother Nathan is growing. Mother spends more time with the rest of the family now. You help her and play with your brother and take care of him when she asks. You often go to Mother's room to sit at the foot of her bed after Nathan falls asleep. She reads you the sacred books and asks you about the things you learned that day. During these moments, you see the world through her eyes as well. One day, the door of your room opens and she brings in a large box covered with a piece of cloth. That stripe is the mark of the first death. Yeah, it seems like it. It's like a permanent tattoo of some sort. But divine. It is rare for you to see her so overjoyed. She sets the box on the floor and removes the cloth. The box under the cloth is made of glass and has a wooden base. Inside you see a layer of earth shaped into carefully crafted passages, and these passages are full of hard-working ants. Rufus, this is my gift to you. An ant farm. It's a little world in a small box. We can watch them through the glass. Look, this is the queen ant. She's the reason all these little ants were born. You sit by the box together. You hold your breath as you watch the ant colony at work. There turns out to be a method to the ants' chaotic movements. Every single one of them has a task to perform. Some of them have larger mandibles. They are the protectors of the colony. They can draw blood from your finger. Others work all around the colony, repairing the walls and clearing any debris from the passages. There are also workers who collect food you put in a special tray, leaves, bits of meat, maggots, and bring it to the rest of the colony. You take a worker ant and put it right next to the food. However, the insect has no interest in it. It starts circling around the tray aimlessly. Mother takes the stray ant and puts it back where it belongs. Why did you do that, my son? The ants cannot do what they weren't born to do. Each of them was born from their own job. You shake your head slowly. If only the ants could do what you wanted them to. This is your gift now, so they belong to you. Or maybe Mother's presence is the reason they won't obey you. Well, I did say family's important. Mother's look is full of warmth and love. Nathan, Gloria, and Father are away right now. For the first time in a long while, it is just the two of you. And Mother takes great joy in watching over the ant farm. She shares her knowledge of the world with you. The things she tells you are true. You move closer to her and suggest going outside and finding some bugs for the ants. She agrees to this happily and holds your hand as you leave the house. Soon you are busy catching bugs and sharing your thoughts on how the ants will feed the colony with them. From time to time, you laugh together, making up stories about errant flies and caterpillars overthrowing the ant kingdom. You and Mother hold hands as you return to your room. She can't help but smile. It is a faint smile, a child's smile, a smile full of sunlight. You are so happy to have seen the world through her eyes today. Well, we skipped the Epiphany, but I think that's okay. I am full of power! Okay, if you say so. Year 1124 fall, master of the house. Soon, grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stefan goes with him. Yeah, power! All the power of the will! From that day on, Father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arcadian Empire. You often distract yourself from their instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. Well, obviously. Swords are cool. With Stefan now at boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the Empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask Mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. He can't just hold a sneeze? Tell that to the teachers, apparently. Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits a man of the nobility. Alright, man. Some days grandfather stays home, and on those days you try his best to stay out of his sight. But there's no way you can avoid family breakfast. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She's been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it is high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Sir Brante, please, let them live free of the lot for a while longer. They are but... Shut your mouth! Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It is time you considered a real marriage, Robert. One to a woman of the proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheek. Father does not look away from the plate, his hands clenched into fists. Baroness Elodar is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support in a husband. You can keep your lowborn Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, Father. I am the head of this family, and the family's standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of the beautiful Amalia aboard for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stefan. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She is coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin, while throws it onto his plate, and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then Father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to Mother in private. Ugh. Ow.
We should be.
Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease on the woven blanket. He distanced himself from you after Stefan's departure, so you are not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There is a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma Elodar, will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. You got it, Dad. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She has been crying, and for a long time. It hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets. Your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears to be wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress, looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. You hear the sounds of wheels and hooves against the cobbles in the yard, then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet and still, fearing Grandfather's observant eye. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful, dark-haired woman in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady Elodar and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you to Robert's sons, Rufus and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's its eldest, Stefan, who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eterna with the other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Liar! Liar! You are a liar! Boo! Boo this man! Boo! This is actually a tough choice. This is stupid. This is going to cause problems. This is going to ruin the family more. Like, sure, reputation's important. We are on tarnished honor already. Man, I don't think I really win on this one. Sometimes there is no winning. Nah, there really isn't here. I could get the family up. I could get the family to stick together. It would also fucking ruin the house. And also, Dad told me not to fuck this up for him. Oh, man. Honestly, I'm a little scared of touching this option here, because I feel like if I do this, then Gregor's just going to get even more control of the house, and I do not like this guy. But if I piss him off again, I could die again. Who knows? Yeah, there's no winning, so we'll just take the cause the least amount of problems possible option here, I guess. Man. Hello, Baroness. You follow Father's example and kiss the Baroness's fingers gently. Her laughter fills the antechamber, ringing like chimes. You gallantly offer to lead her to the sitting room. Lady Elodar graciously agrees. Behind your back, you can hear Mother sobbing. I'm so sorry. Grandfather and Baroness Elodar engage in small talk over dinner. She tells him of the woes, the litigation over her late husband's inheritance, and he advises her like the judge he is. Father is mostly silent, only getting in a word or two. You do your absolute best to behave yourself. After the decorous farewells to Lady Elodar, Father quietly thanks you for your marvel behavior. The morning after, he leaves for Eterna with the grandfather to visit Stefan. Mother spends almost an entire day in her bedroom. You cannot bring yourself to speak to her. Father returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently, grandfather has already poisoned Stefan's mind against him, and he greeted father with cold hostility. The name of Baroness Eldodar is never mentioned in the house again. You know what? That's perfectly fine. We are now 7. Father now checks your studies often and nitpicks you for God, words are hard. Sorry. And nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says he wishes Stefan had been the one to stay home instead of you. You never expected to hear these words from your father, of all people. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with reading and calculations of the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way grandfather treats you? You ask. Gloria just shrugs. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way, that's all. She shows you the strange tube she's been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eye sees a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horsemen, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lives, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive and calm and peaceful, just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold, radiating gentle warmth like Mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again, you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow, you see Gloria's green eyes, gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned and time slips away unchecked. You are still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it no matter how you try. You are caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? But you still have lessons to do today. Let's get back to work. I guess it's cool. You put the kaleidoscope away and return to studying the book. There is so much you have to discuss with Gloria. You cannot help but wonder, what things did she see there? But first, your lessons. When Father walks in, he sees you hard at work over the book. He chuckles in approval, then spots the kaleidoscope on the table next to you. He puts the toy to his eye, then freezes still for a moment. It takes him an effort to put it back down. Then he praises you for being diligent and leaves. When today's section of the book is finished, you take the toy upstairs to your sister's room and tell her what you saw in it. Gloria smiles, knowing what you felt. I once saw a ballroom full of dancers. I watched it for an entire hour. My hands even got sore. You spend a long time with your sister discussing the kaleidoscopic figures, and you feel a strong connection to her. The toy has brought you closer together, made you interconnected, just like the lines and figures in its colorful eye.
Let's go.
Father's sword. Ooh, yay! When father is not working long hours, you often see him spending long stretches of time in the backyard practicing his fencing. You are allowed to watch, but that is it. You are forbidden from touching the sword, let alone actually learning how to fight with it. It is a new day today, and father's been busy at his studies since early morning. Mother took Gloria and Nathan to the shops. Your studies are done for today. The house is empty. You spot father's sword hanging by the yard door. He must have left it there by accident after a training session. You deliberate at first, then grab the sword with resolve and run outside. Yay, don't even choose, just go. Swoosh, swoosh. At last you have a chance to see it up close. It is a small sword used for dueling, heavy and devoid of any ornamentation. You recall that it was made specifically for him. The weapon is difficult to handle. Its heft makes the palm of your hand shake. As you get used to it, you try your best to imitate father's feints. Your technique leaves much to be desired, but at least it's something. You imagine yourself fighting for the family's honor as the thin blade slices through the air. But you swing too far back. The blade nicks your shoulder and cuts through your shirt, staining the fabric crimson. The sword falls to the ground with a dull clang. You try to apply pressure to the wound to make it stop bleeding, but all you do is make the blood flow faster. Rufus, what are you doing here? The familiar voice hurts you more than the cut of the sword. Father walks up to you briskly. His rugged arms rip off a length of cloth and bandage your shoulder. He squats by your side and pulls you into an awkward embrace. My son, why did you have to take the sword? You know you're not supposed to hold it. This is no toy. It is a weapon that can take lives. I know how you feel. I used to yearn for my father's doing the sword back when I was a lad. One day you might have a chance to earn the right to carry a weapon. But first you must have patience and study and become a noble. When that day comes, I will be proud to teach you myself. You rarely spend time with father without someone else around. There's paternal love in his voice, so much that even the cut on your shoulder barely hurts now. You would be glad to be convinced by what he says. But how can you forget your dream? How can you abandon it just to earn father's approval? Is it right for him to ask so much for you? Let's see. As much as I want to learn the sword stuff, I also want to keep my willpower up in the positive. So, okay. No touching the sword. You take a deep breath, then slowly and solemnly swear you will never touch a sword again until you earn a nobleman's title. This promise is a difficult one for you to make. No more secret fights with an imaginary blade. No more battles with sticks. If you give your word, you must keep it. Father smiles at you warmly. It is one thing to make a promise, and another thing to keep it. But I know you can do it, my son. You are on your way to becoming a man of your word. Let's go back inside now. He picks up the sword and leads you back into the house. You wash the blood from the cut and agree to keep this a secret from everybody. Then Father asks you to come into his study with him. He tells you stories of his studies in the capital. He tells you about studying for the judgeship and the trials he had to face to be ennobled by the mantle. Father brings several toy soldiers from the house. He uses them to reenact the famous Battle of the Green River. The floor of the study becomes a battlefield, and books from his table turn into riverside hills. You try your best to remember his every word. Back to full of power! Eh. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. He has become something you are used to. Something, yeah, nagging, yet not an ordinary, like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. The tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable, it stings for real. Almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for the day. You're walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up on your sister and tap her on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Rufus. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl, you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the high-born treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on the shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear. But next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stefan used to boast that candy fruit tastes incredible, and now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet. You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes the fruit and brings it to her mouth, carefully, like a rare treasure. There is a thumping on the stairs. Footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she is frozen in place with the bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. You squalid, ungrateful, low-born child! How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother will be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son! The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and he hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls on the floor right next to where you are hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm, melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready. But then he sees you huddling behind the armchair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Brante. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then, Milkstop? Did you try the sugar too? Or were you trying to stop this piece of filth like she says?
I didn't learn the first time.
Mocking him sounds fun. He'll fucking kill us both, though.
Oh, I'm toast. Goodbye.
No, man. Getting a +1 on this relationship feels weird to want. What do y'all think? Should we be honest? Or just make fun of this idiot? You're for making fun of this idiot? Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, you know what? Fuck this guy. You jump up and try to steal Gloria. Then you start boasting right in his face. Yes, you did eat the sugary treat, and it was very much the opposite of sweet. Good thing Gloria did not have time to eat hers, or it would have disappointed her too. Gloria catches on in a moment. Yeah, sugary treats are for fat, noble kids, but they're gross to us. We're just commoners. You continue your train of thought. Why, we simply got curious after Stefan started boasting about it. He told us these treats are so good you could eat them forever. But no, your elder brother lied. They are simply unbearable. But then again, what else would you expect from grandfather's darling Stefan? Grandfather's face is red with rage. He strikes you both with his walking stick, blow for blow. You dare mock me! I will not let this stand. Know your place, you foul, low-born scum! He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, then leaves you where you are, muttering in impotent rage. Soon enough, Mother comes in to find the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises, yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts on the lots and how important it is to follow them. Gloria's face is bruised and swollen, but she still gives you a weak smile. We got him so riled up. 2 commoners made an honorable nobleman feel helpless. Makes all the pain worth it, isn't that right? Your entire body hurts from the heavy blows, but you are ecstatic. You stood up to grandfather today. It's a victory you'll remember for the rest of your life. Small wins! Yeah, fuck you. Sacrament time. Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you're told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. God, he looks awful, actually. An odd child, he's been secretive and aloof since he was a little boy. He's inept, constantly ill and crying, always in need of care and protection. He started reading sacred texts at a very young age. No playing today. You and Rufus are big boys now. It is time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot! Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a lowborn lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get the chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon, the carriage is moving along the streets of Anazad, slowly and solemnly. One more turn, and you see the colossal white building marked by 2 massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are about to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into 2 halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in drying brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. Wow, that's really reinforcing it, huh? Father and grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone on the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the lowborn estate shall suffer in the house of faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest, dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words of his lot. For this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly breaks out of his fearful trance and tries to break free, but the acolyte pulls him towards the altar and throws him on the jagged floor on the lowborn side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. I don't wanna! Rufus, why do you want to rip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards his mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below. So sharp, your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? That's a lot of willpower gone. So how do we want to take this one? Because I'm thinking now we do want to put Rufus towards the noble line. But I'm wondering if we take it now or we try and do it the right way later down the line. At the very least, if I go Defiant, maybe that makes fighting for it a little easier. Thing is, if I kiss the sword, I lose a lot of what I worked for. This is an interesting option. I wouldn't kiss the sword. I'm pretty sure the reaction would just be stab you with it. Oh, it doesn't say I die. It just loses a lot. We'll go with the line of, I do not accept this. It will change down the line. Raise your head and get back up. The priest readies the lash, but before he can strike you, raise your head and stand up. There are cries of indignation among the churchgoers. The whip cracks. It strikes you on the right shoulder, but you keep your head up. It strikes again, this time on your left, but you remain standing. No one intervenes. Even the priest is confused by this turn of events. He grits his teeth and he orders you to depart. You are to remain humble and obedient from this day forth, for you now belong to the common estate. You walk away from the altar, swaying. You see things with surprising clarity now. You barely feel the pain, even as blood runs down your back. A timid hand touches yours. It is Nathan, his tearful face a mixture of confusion and awe. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you are outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate. Grandfather is the last to leave the church. His face is covered in red, angry blotches. There is a quiet fury in his voice as he says something, Father, who remains quiet and miserable as you walk to the carriage. You defied a powerful will that day. There's fear inside you. You fear that this will might one day destroy you. You've taken your first sacrament. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it's a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father's you keeps telling you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness. When Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for his time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it was beneath him to write to the commoners and his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him? Or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As the day passes, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your adult choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. Hooray! We lived! Only got one tag on the Destiny thing, but that's okay. These will convert into adult qualities at the end of Chapter 2, Adolescence. Determination 5, Perception 4, Willpower 15, 1 death. Alright, I think we're doing good. Well, you consider 8 years old adolescent? Also, what is the revolt down at the end here? That's interesting.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Chapter 2, Adolescence. That's ominous as fuck. A little bit. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick little break so I can use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Enjoy the chair. I got store brand Oreos. Might not make my mouth feel any better, but I'm a little hungry, so. Anyway. You've lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anazad. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will your place be in the vast outside world? Few people in the blessed Arcanian Empire trouble themselves with this question. It is not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. Yet your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duties and honor. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate, humility and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will follow the twin gods' word and offer spiritual guidance to others. The answer lies out there in that vast, terrifying world. What awaits you beyond the walls of your home? Oh, really? Ha! Dude's not even immune from that shit. Blood Tide? Huh. Oh, this is stuff not gonna happen to the family. Okay. Personal life things. Conditions. Meet a girl. Wow. Oh, I need to have had an epiphany. Oop. Sophia saved. Personal qualities at this age, they determine which choices you may take. We got nobility, ingenuity, spirituality, and willpower. We now have relations, province, and map of the empire. Let's take a look at the map. Wow. Here's Anazat. Like father, like son, Stefan? Yeah, really. The city, Anazat, the city of your birth, capital of the arid province of Magra. It is the largest and most ancient city in the south of the empire. Sorry. Anazat is home to the Silver Tree, Fine. A sacred landmark grown by the twins when they descended to the mortal realm. The old prophecies say that Anazat is where the end of the world will begin. Cool. What's Eterna? The capital of the blessed Archaean Empire, this ancient and beautiful city was built upon the shores of 3 rivers. By the Emperor's order, Eterna houses the Imperial College and Military Academy, which provide opportunities for commoners to become nobles of the mantle through service and valor, as well as the Divine Seminary. Eterna is the place where Archaean tradition, architecture, and fashion have always reigned supreme, but the influx of human nobles and wealthy merchants is slowly changing the way of life in the capital. Go! Oh wow! Even the province has stats. Huh. Cool. All right, let's take a look. We are 8 years old. The family expects more of you as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for the future of the Brante family. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It's a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to a ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon, you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on the porch, sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues to bawl. It's all that kid. He pushed me in the ditch and called me names. He said it was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Rufus. Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house further down the street where the poorer artisans live. You see 2 boys lingering there on the porch. They're clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age, but is more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Thomas. You've heard it before. There, Rufus, that's him. Nathan points at the younger boy and hides behind your back. Thomas grins and rolls his sleeves up to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Your little brother earned his ditch dive. Maybe next time he'll dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. Your hands clench into fists before you react. Nathan called the names first, but no wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. But pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Thomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You are about to get ready for a fight when you feel a tug on your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started the whole mess. If I do that, he's probably going to get beat up more. Huh. Eh. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, this is kind of on him. He did pick this fight. Oh. Any opinions? Because I'm a little stuck. Hans Setley? What Hans Setley are you about to say? Kinda gotta stand up for your brother, but yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with that one. Maybe throwing hands ain't right. Probably not. Yeah, let's try and just talk this one out. This quarrel can be resolved peacefully. You turn to Thomas and offer to solve the problem like adults. His brother will apologize to Nathan, and Nathan will apologize to him in return. There is no need to fight anymore, and you will give Nathan a peace in your mind when you get home. You and Thomas are all grown up and should act your age, you say. The blood rushes to Thomas's face when he hears this. Act our age, you say? Are you calling me a baby? You better shut your trap. Bitch, that's not what I said. This is all he says before he attacks. You barely dodge a fist flying at your face. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. The younger brother's gawk in awe at the sight. He just really wanted to fight. Yeah, he just wanted to throw down. Thomas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight, and his heaviest fists aim for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser. You start swinging your fists with greater and greater fury. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out. Your breath goes ragged and your muscles grow heavy. But there's no way you can give up now. Nathan's watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Thomas square in the nose, then immediately let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. Ooh, the tinnitus. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head to get your bearings. Thomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too. You keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then, suddenly, you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman apron is shaking his fists. Thomas's face contorts in terror right away. It's my father! Run! The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Thomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten wooden planks of the back alley, up and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, then forward into the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sounds of pursuit. You exchange glances with Thomas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. Yeah, I'm gonna get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating. Then he'll start nagging me about the lot and the prayers for days like he always does. How do I always get myself mixed up in this stuff? But fighting's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? The adults didn't see you fighting, you tell them, so all you have to do now is convince them you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? Mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try it. Let's hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch in your head. Don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. You assure him that Nathan will never tell. And in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so we don't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, you shake hands with Thomas. His handshake is as strong as you expect based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave before Thomas's father goes to your family and complains about breaking your lie. You come to a realization on the way back. You had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed, and it wasn't too far from home. Thomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what, if we get out of this mess today, I'll show you the way to the old fortress wall. It's the perfect place to build your own fort. I dragged a bunch of wooden planks there. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. Commoners aren't even allowed to fight each other? No, because fighting is not their duty. That's the duty of the nobles. You emerge from the muddy back alleys united by a secret only the two of you know. It seems you made a friend today. Well, that worked out. Boy, it's kind of like how Kazuma Kiryu makes friends, huh? Just beat the shit out of them until you get their respect. Cookie. It is blistering hot today, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you're done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Thomas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. They're doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. Ooh, girlies. She has big, deep eyes of blue. Hey, Joski, how's it going? How was your stream, man? Her dark hair is braided and the plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of the sun are reflected in her eyes. Stream good, games bad? Well, it be like that sometimes. Like you tell me, as long as you're learning. You, Thomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories. Anything to make her laugh. You sure love telling tall tales, Rufus. Oh, I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street, smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. The street starts shaking from the thundering hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. A sable serpent blade upon a field of vert. It symbolizes the Melanidas dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Sophia is in their way, just starting to get back on her feet. Her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fenced door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop? Or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. Well, obviously we're fucking saving her, and I die again! Yay! Yeah, I'll take the death. You throw yourself blindly onto the road, swinging your arms wildly. Dazed by the sound of thundering hooves, you see nothing in the dust. For a brief moment, the horses slow down just long enough for Sophia to get back on her feet and flee to the roadside. But then the riders dig their spurs in. At this rate, we're going to die before we get to the vault. Hey, that may just be how it is. Dozens of hooves knock you off your feet and roll across your body. Your bones crack, break, and crumble. Your ears are ripped apart by the thundering rhythm of the ride. Your innards are pulverized. The last thing you remember is the sound of your own skull caving in. Death 2! Boy, we're really bad with survival, aren't we? There's absolutely no self-preservation whatsoever here. Was for a good cause this time. What consequences did death have? I don't know. We're finding out. Anyway, second death. Eventually you die permanently. I mean, you would die permanently eventually once you reach the end of your life anyway. But like, I think there's like extra consequences for dying multiple times outside of that. Like there was a whole Destiny bit we got early on when we died to the cane. Why is my camera doing that again? Hold on. Swear to God, it just loses focus. Okay, good. Impenetrable darkness surrounds you. You stand alone, bare to your very essence. It paralyzes you. You have an urge to cover yourself, to hide. No one should see you so vulnerable. But you cannot conceal the truth in this place. You are bathed in an unbearably bright light. It has no hint of warmth in it. It is blinding. It leaves no shadows in the entire world. It is the light of the shining pillar itself. In this radiance, you can clearly see all your thoughts and doubts, your errors and transgressions, the contradictions that have permeated you since birth. They cover you from head to toe like rough, gray tatters, but they melt away in this light. You are naked. You feel liberated and whole. It is though all the wounds and cracks in your souls have been healed, making it the way it should be. It is though the scales have fallen from your eyes. You see the true shapes of things now. These are laws by which the world abides, the grand design that moves life itself. You tread a path that is barely visible in the blinding light, giving shape to everything. In this light, you see the infinite complexity of the world, from the tiniest leaf to the enormity of the empire. And this world maintains its balance by virtue of the law that was embedded in it during the act of creation. Ahead of you, two figures are waiting on the path. They are gigantic, many times taller than a man. The elder holds a lash, the younger a sword. The younger gazes at you sternly, coldly. You kneel obediently before him and lower your head. The god raises his sword above you. This is divine retribution. There is no law without it, nor can there be. Every action has consequences. This is what shapes the world, making its very existence possible. In this moment, beneath the gaze of the merciless God, you comprehend the law that binds the entire world together. Which manifestation of the law will you live by? Empire, lot, family, cause. Yourself. Against the law? Nah. Let's go with cause. The blade flashes. The younger's sword slashes through the air above your head. You do not yet deserve your final punishment. The law demands that you continue your life. Your form has not been completely destroyed, nor has that of the world. The younger extends his gigantic hand and shows you the way. You must proceed. The path leads you to the top of the crown of the silver tree, spread wide in the white gleam. The branches are close now. It is time to descend. You are drawn downward into darkness. The shadows that had disappeared in the blinding glow creep around you and envelop you. This is to be expected. But the purity and clarity of spirit are still with you. Something is forcing your throat open. Air. It scratches you on the inside. Your soul is filled with struggle again, with the contradictions from which the fabric of this world and you yourself are woven. The divine light that gave you clarity is fading away with each passing moment. You have to open your eyes. Above you is the dark ceiling of the crypt. You are reborn. These are wild. God really just said, get back in there, kid. Yeah, he did. This is the second time he's done that. Then you can feel again. You sense your body, head, arms, and legs. The light fades around you, obedient before a will that is stronger than you. Return to the world. Such is the law of the twins. You will return to the world until the time of your true death, and in this world you have a body with which to feel pain and suffering and pleasure. You smell a sickly, moist odor. You open your eyes and see the figures of mother and father in the gloom of the family crypt, speaking to each other quietly. They stop as soon as they hear you gasp. Mother runs to you and locks you in embrace as father wraps you in his cloak. Neither of them says a word as they lead you back out to the surface and home. The twin gods be like, come back later, kid. Store's not open yet. Come back in like an hour. Oop. You've met a terrible end, my son. You were trampled by those horses. Is this unique to us, or this is a known phenomenon? This is a known thing. True death is a known thing. This is like part of the clergy teachings. It's an established thing. Yeah, it is cool. You've met a terrible end, my son. You were trampled by those horses. Don't be so careless ever again. The lives you are granted by the twin gods are not to be wasted so recklessly. You would be punished for this, but the twins have already meted out their punishment. You tremble, your steps unsteady as you learn to move again. Your body is eerily smooth, fresh and renewed. Even the recent scars and scratches are all gone. But there is something new on it. A fresh, black mark. A reminder of your lesser death beneath those hooves. Remember that by the twins' mercy, we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of a life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death, and so we humbly accept this and move on. See, your body has been reborn anew, with all your wounds healed. Do not mourn your loss of life, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. Do not speak of this, and do not ever play by the road again if you wish to keep on living. Okay, you get 3 strikes? Yeah, it seems like it. There are some... It does seem like some people maybe get less, because Robert's former wife, who he had Stefan with, only got 1, and that was a true death. Not sure why that happened, but it happened like shortly after Stefan was born, so there might be a small mystery there. You cautiously go back outside the next day. Children from the neighborhood surround you. They saw you all get trampled, and now they all ask you the same question. What's it like to die? Wonder if she had 3 unknown lesser deaths then. Maybe. Because people are good liars. That's the thing. Every time you get a lesser death, you get a mark on your arm. That's kind of hard to hide. Thomas rescues you from their pestering. He pushes the motley crew aside, hugs you, and pats you on the back. Look at you, buddy! You gave an entire life to keep a girl safe. Then you see Sophia. She is standing nearby, shyly working up the courage to walk over to you. Soon she finally approaches you and begins speaking rapidly. Rufus, why did you throw yourself in front of those horses? My life isn't worth any more than yours, so why did you think that? You weren't supposed to die there. It's those riders' fault. They deserve to die, not you. Her voice rises to a shriek. She suddenly stops and runs back home. You stay where you are, watching her run, the golden rays of the sun dancing in her braided hair. Excuse me. Lost some willpower, but that's okay. I've done it before. No big deal. Just does it just casually like it's routine. I wake up. I am reborn every day and die at sunset. No deal. No big deal. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossiped that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. But no matter what, life goes on. You are 10 years old now. Your studies continue, and you are learning more about the land you live in. Anazad is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Charmilanides. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. So it's a wasteland? Why do we live here? Since then, the entire province has been laid barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking root in our own. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Doesn't seem like much of a choice? Probably. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Oh boy, we got blasting powder now! Hell yeah! Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city and black billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Gloria and you cough only when nobody's watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot herbal vapors just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out into the streets to meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows with you about this incident. They took lots of burnt up people to the city temple, and Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the Order and the Empire with accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture, while Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head and faces a weak, bleak, weary mask and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. Okay, do we want to take a guess as to what happened here before we move on? Because I think they got into a coal vein, blew it up, and started a massive fire. Too much gunpowder? Also that, probably. Something with the boom boom process went wrong on its own, no magical interference required? Probably. Called it. It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get to a vein of ore. There was an explosion. The mine caved in, and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, Wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Oh, okay. Rich idiot got greedy and impatient. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count El Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and newspapers just repeat whatever he says. It's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with commoner lives? Then, without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again. Ever. Oh boy. Oh, Stefan's coming home. Cool. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Why are you shining? Right, because we did that. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Brante, as well as a noble friend of the family. You are excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and Father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver who you barely recognize as your brother. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You've heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Augustin Alborn, Stefan's uncle, a family friend, and the province's prefect, which means that he's the head judge and thus father's superior. Sir Alborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. And this must be your younger son Rufus, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir Alborn. But there's a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There is a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We noblemen ought to put our emotions on public display, Father, not even after a lengthy separation. Boo! Continue to boo this guy! Jesus Christ. Gregor really did a number on your head, huh? Okay, fuck you, Stefan. Fuck Stefan and Gregor, honestly. You and your lame ass undercut. The fade is bad. You're in the privacy of your own house, you asshat. Yep, yeah, just let it out, y'all. Be mad at this guy. There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to Father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Alborn is the first to enter. He kisses Mother's hand, and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child. And you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I saw you last. Dude, this is your family. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely. Not even a greeting. I'm mad at him. Damn, dude. Proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Alborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. This dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but the words of praise for a lowborn woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at grandfather. He looks like he's about to choke on that. Good! It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals. Nah, man, family time. Shut up. Please, Gregor. Parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love. I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan, but there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? Besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert urged the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps, and who knows? Perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the "You clumsy lowborn cretin!" Everyone is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He is glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Wasn't he the guy the family was no longer supposed to talk about, or what? No, that Gregor just hates this guy because I'm willing to bet it's mostly because Robert's former wife was Elborn's daughter, and he's still a friend of the family. Gregor here is just mad he doesn't seem to follow the traditional rules of being a noble. Sister? Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Uncle. My bad. Molly was the sister. Yeah, thank you for the correction. He's basically the cool uncle. Begone this instinct! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again. We do like cool uncle here. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Worry not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. The fuck we will! Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She is sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. I'm gonna slap him. I don't care how many deaths it takes. Me too. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the branch gentleman so wish it, your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It is all grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet they are noblemen and they have the right to act this way. If there's any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. Oh, I don't like leaving Gloria out to dry like that, to be honest. But I guess if I want to get that noble's lot, I gotta act like one. Nah, I'm sorry, sis. At least do something to defend her honor. Oh, a little late, I clicked on it. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can boo me. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to her later. Moving stiffly, Gloria takes the wine pitcher and starts refilling the glasses. You turn away from your sister, eager to distract yourself from her presence somehow. So you ask Sir Elborn how you may contribute to the family legacy. He turns to you, clearly relieved. Your eagerness to support the family betrays your noble bearing, young man. It is simple. Always remember that you are a Brante. Your family has a path of its own. You must follow in the footsteps of your father and grandfather and learn the judge's trade. You keep asking questions about the life and duty of a nobleman, trying not to look as glorious and continue serving the table. Sir Elborn is eager to explain. A nobleman must always live with honor in mind, but the imperial law stands higher. There are 3 lots and 3 estates. Naturally, they can never be equal, yet the law must govern those who live within each estate. You have a hard time understanding some of the things the prefect of Magra says, but his intellect is stunning. The dinner ends. Gloria takes away the last of the dirty dishes and disappears quietly from the dining room. Sir Elborn cordially bids you farewell. Grandfather and Stefan are still as haughty as ever, but they are clearly pleased. Pleased with what, you wonder? The dinner or Gloria's humiliation? Then you go to sleep. Your sister is sobbing in the next room loud enough that you hear her. God, I feel so bad now. What have I done? Man. Yep, still deserved. Hot, dry. Whoa, God, the horses are loud. Damn, okay. Hot, dry wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anazat prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. Best friends for life! The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazat where the nobles live. So, here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Thomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Thomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble. Our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say, but I want to make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you. But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you, for example, Brant. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we had the same lot, so we're supposed to suffer the same. Or look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night to his judging, and he's a noble? I've never seen an Arcanian work as hard as he does. Kinda in awe how classic where Thomas is at 11. Yeah, he's kind of painfully aware of it, considering he's at the low end of the stick. Wait, what? The Arcanians are a different race? The books say they were born to rule over humans. They are never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arcanians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course. You have never seen one yourself. Huh. So you got nobles and super nobles. What kind of Aryan bullshit is it? Yeah, really. Well, it does say that they founded the empire after conquering all the human kingdoms, so I'm willing to bet it's really just a relic of that. The whole, we're your conquerors, therefore we roll over you. The start of this game talked about humans and Arcanians, and I've been wanting to learn more about the latter. Well, apparently they are blue. I guess. Is there any other difference beside that, though? Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabbit like you have no place here. Da-boo-dee-da-boo-da. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on a field of vert. It makes you squirm. It's the Archduke's coat of arms, the Melanitis dynasty. The carriage door opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. Those dainty shoulders suggested but not revealed by the cut of her dress, her black hair cascading over them. Her stately, slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night sky. The way she moves, fluidly, gracefully, and most incredible of all, her skin glows in azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Archnean. So they do exist. Okay, they look like people. Oh my god, this is the most literal interpretation of a blue blood I've ever seen. Octavia Milanitis, clear the way for me! I'm gonna give them all pompous accents, I don't care. The Milanitis guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Archnean lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Yeah, they're fucking blue-blooded. Come on. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Milanitis, our Archduke's own daughter. The Archnean turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestones right next to you. Her handkerchief! It is right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric, delicately decorated with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Archnean's attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? Oh, that's the romance plot, is it? Fancy.
Huh?
What the hell?
What?
Maximum head tilt? Yeah, I don't know. It'll probably come later. I lose willpower on it, but honestly, did it mean to be so audible? It's okay.
Is this the outer right field? Huh?
Oh. Let's see. I'll be honest, I kind of want to chase that path a little bit. Just to see what happens. Listen, Cozy, you're valid. Everyone's valid here. Boy, imagine if we turned visible consequences off. Never would have seen it coming. You know what? I'm chasing it. Why not? It takes a moment to overcome your fear. You follow the young lady Milanitis and call out to her in a nervous voice. She turns around, her beautiful face marred by a puzzled expression. You extend the dropped handkerchief towards her. Lady Octavia's face contorts into a sneer. She sighs to the guardsman indifferently. The guardsman's gauntlet-clad hand slaps you in the face. It rings your head like a heavy bell. Your nose cracks obediently under the staggering force. The rest of you follow suit, and you fall prone. You can discern the guardsman's voice through the painful din in your ears. Should I take the handkerchief back, lady? After a commoner's hands have befouled it, let him wipe himself with it for all I care. Wow, fuck you. I was just trying to be nice. The carriage drives away. Thomas runs up to you and drags you back to the fountain. Your head is still ringing from the blow. The fateful handkerchief is still crumpled in your hand. Game, are you sure this isn't a Stockholm Syndrome plot? I don't know. Well, that hurt. Remember the... What mantra? I love the kind of woman that could just outright kill me. Yeah, I guess. Oh, okay. I see what the point of that was. It wasn't It wasn't specifically, I want that girl. It was, oh, I understand. I have a crush now because this lady is so pretty. Okay. 12 years old now, and you overhear an important conversation. It is a spring night, and Mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past Father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling, and Father is replying quietly. The elder Brant men are fighting, arguing about the place of commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid Mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you too. Hooray being 12! Yay, we're 12! Also, yay, hormones! That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman's seat in the lesser quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Mayor Egmont may be lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful, should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum. You're 27 and will happily celebrate hormones? Me too. I don't give a damn who this Egmont is, Robert. What he is, however, is lowborn. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They're nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. Glad you're on board. It's just different from me. Okay, fair. Something funny I just really... honestly, not funny. Maddening. This guy is not noble by birth. If we remember correctly, both Robert and Gregor both earned nobility through the mantle by judgeship. So they both started lowborn, probably. The fact that he's so bent out of shape out of what a noble is tells me he's incredibly fucking insecure about his position. And he just has to take it out on everyone else. He's not noble born? Oh, I'm so pissed. Yeah, no, he's not. He's only a noble by right of the mantle through his judgmentship. Bitch absolutely forgot where he came from. Yeah, again, he's so bent out of shape over what a noble is supposed to look like because he fought for it, completely lost the plot, and is now just taking out his insecurity on everyone else. This guy is a fucking bitch.
Fuck Gregor Brant.
Yeah, fuck Gregor Brant. Me and my homies hate Gregor Brant. I wasted so many years trying to quash that quorum decree. But that accursed Tornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. And now even lowlifes can wield power. True power, Robert. You mean like you? Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlifes now? Sure, give them guns. Make them into judges? Sure, why not? If the Empire rejects the foundations and the lots, this entire edifice will crumble. But who am I telling this to? It is already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are a harbinger of his destruction. Go.
Go.
Father, I'm begging you. I do not wish to marry a third time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children. If you would only allow her to, I will allow them nothing. Neither Egmont, nor that freeloading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going, and I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlifes share the same rights. Then do it, coward. Fucking perish, you piece of shit. I'm glad we're all in agreement on this one.
For resounding success across the board.
All in favor of this asshole being eliminated, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion is passed. My only dream is to see the name of the Brante in the Blue Book. But that dream will never come true. They'll never call me the Venerable L. Brant, and it's all because of this marriage of yours. Oh, so you're just not happy with what you got. You want more, while continuing to say fuck them kids. Blue Book, I think it's like... You know what? I don't actually know. Are they selling used cars? No. I wish. If I had to take a guess, it probably is just a record of like all the official standing noble houses. It's blue because the Archeans are blue. Oh yeah, that would track. My only hope now is to hear Stefan addressed in such a manner one day. Like the twins, I didn't let you ruin the boy. He's about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of L. Brunt. Oh, so L is a title thing. Interesting. You have 2 more grandsons. Those spineless milksocks from the common lot? They're incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle, although I have grave doubts about even that. As for the downtrodden Nathan, I hold no hope for him whatsoever. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane, and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Oh, the power from the overseer is sliding. Interesting. Oh boy, school starts. We begin to master the sciences. Ugh, excuse me. A storm of expectations. Finally, the day comes when the teachers stop coming to the house. But before you can breathe a sigh of relief and put away the books, Father asks you to come to his study. You've grown, my son. It's time for you to continue your education away from home. I've chosen a deserving school for you. Sir Tibor's School for the children of noblemen and well-off commoners. Naturally, it is not a boarding school for nobles, so you will study there during the day and come home in the evening. You share the news with your best friend Thomas. Sir Tibor's School, eh? Yeah, I gotta ask my parents to send me there too as soon as they get the coin together. The father says his workshop has toiled day and night for years to save for my education. The school is based in an ancient estate of Archean design. The classrooms are tall and spacious, with massive benches. The sounds of scraping quills and lectures on history and imperial law and theology echo under the vaulted ceilings. The rules are strict, the lessons tiring. Restless Thomas keeps getting distracted, and several times he gets his hand slapped with a stick for it. Ah, it's that kind of school, huh? Every teacher demands flawless mastery of their subject. Every day, Father asks you about your studies. You've already told him twice how Magritte joined the Empire and how the Nobles' Court of Honor is different from the Commoner's Civil Court in the city prefecture. But Father keeps pressuring you to work even harder. When it is time to go to bed, Mother will not let you go to sleep until you recite a newly learned prayer for her. And when it is time to go to school, you promise her every day that you will behave with great humility and steer clear of insolent behavior of any kind. For you still live by the Commoner's lot, and that lot is hard work and suffering. Yeah, I know. Your first month in school draws to a close, and the teachers announce that there will be exams at the end of the month to determine the best and worst students in each subject. Cool. Father insists that you devote all your spare time to studying law and history if you wish to follow in his footsteps. But when you speak to Mother every day, you start considering theology. You still remember the revelations and divine visions that came to you in your earliest years. You only have one more day until the exam. You've locked away yourself in the room. It's already getting late. Your desk is covered with handwritten notes surrounded by leather-bound books. Just looking at them makes you queasy, but you have to read through all of them again, at least for one of your subjects. There is a nagging thought in your mind. Thomas ended up in big trouble the other day. He got in a fight with several boys who lived next street. They heard about your wooded fortress and got in an outrage by the fortification built by commoners. They swore to dismantle it tonight. Thomas swore he would defend the fortress until the end. Perhaps you should abandon the books to rescue the friend in need. But then you hear your little brother Nathan knocking at the door. He stands there shyly, not saying a word. He often does that. It's standing still and staying speechless until you either first speak or he runs away. But this time he actually says something. The door is locked. Are you okay, Rufus? Is there anything I can do to help? Your head is spinning. This is the last evening before the school exam. If you fail, your family will be very disappointed. You'll have to refresh your memory on law or theology, either one or the other. But Thomas and your fort are about to be stormed. Why today, of all days? You grind your teeth in rage at the thought. Nathan is by the door, trying not to bother you. He wants to help you the only way he can, for reasons known only to him. Will you accept his help? Man. I get the feeling if I go help Thomas, I fail. However, friendship. You push Nathan out of the room. He cannot possibly help you prepare for the exam. But once you are sure nobody is behind the door, you open the window, climb out into the yard and over the fence. And when you run, then you run like the wind to your wooden fort where Thomas is in peril. The battle for the fort has already begun. Thomas is cornered. He swings a loose wooden plank, fending out 3 boys at once. This is not a fair fight by any means. Your friend is rugged enough to have a fighting chance against 2 of them, but 3 is too many to handle alone. Where you been, Rufus? They're about to smash your fort. Get him! You flank the assailants and slam into them at full speed, channeling the cavalry of the holy warriors. You take them by surprise as you pull one of the aggressors away and knock him out with a punch to the jaw. Thomas cheers you on. You team up and make short work of the remaining foes. Your enemies retreat in shame. Thomas got a black eye and his knuckles are all covered in blood, but he looks unusually pleased with himself. Couldn't have done it without you. Just look at them trying to tell us where to build our fort. Okay, time to fix her up. Your score on the exam was merely satisfactory, but still well above a failing grade. The family is not too happy with you, but life goes on and your studies continue. You know you could have worked harder to prove yourself to your teachers, but your wooded fort still stands proud, and that is what matters. Hell yeah, friendship! 11:30, fall, noble titles. Your education continues. As you study imperial law, you come to realize there is a certain hierarchy even within the noble estate. It seems your father's status is not quite equal to that of the more eminent human and Archnean gentry. You return home with this new information at your disposal. Father asks you about school after dinner, as he always does. And what is the difference between nobles of the mantle and those of the sword, Rufus? You already have an answer. The latter status is hereditary, meaning that it is passed from father to son. After the Archneans, nobles of the sword are the most eminent humans in the Empire. They own land and estates, they fill offices of the highest ranks, and the names of their bloodlines are preserved within the Great Blue Book. See, I told you it was a record. Nobility of the sword can only be granted by the overseer of the province or the emperor himself. And how are such eminent people addressed? With the honorific L before their last name, you respond. Sir Augustine Elborn, for example. Father pats you on the shoulder, clearly pleased. And what about the Archneans and their status? What have you learned about them? The Archneans stand above all human gentry. They are born to rule over humans regardless of their titles. No L is required when addressing them. They need no honorifics, for the names of their ancient dynasties are known to all. Father nods somberly. Yes. We can never be their equals. Do whatever an Arcadian tells you and never defy them. Ever. And what about grandfather and me? Where do we stand as nobles? That is easy. Father and grandfather are nobles of the mantle. This title cannot be inherited, but it can be earned by any commoner as a reward for great service to the Empire in the Legion or as a civil servant. Father suddenly grows quiet and looks you in the eye intently. Yes. Someday you will earn a noble title too, son. All in due time. I'm gonna make you proud, Dad. Sir Tiber's school teaches children of all stripes. Nobles of the mantle and lowborn parents can send their sons here. And every passing day, the children of noblemen invent new ways to snub and bully the commoners. Most of the time, the bully leading them is Diedrich, the son of the secretary for the city hall and a self-important slob. The sons of the noblemen never pick on you, however. They know that your father has been ennobled by the mantle. However, Diedrich and his retinue soon choose Thomas as their favorite victim. Time and time again, you ask your friend not to pay them any mind, but again and again, Thomas grows angry and snaps at their self-satisfied mockery. It's early morning. The students are busy flocking to the classroom for the next lesson. You wave Thomas over when you see him. He waves back at you. Then a bucket full of slop splashes on him. Needless to say, it's the work of Diedrich and his entourage. You hear his familiar creaky laughter. The tailor's son stinks! How dare he sit next to decent folk? Thomas clutches his fist. You're dead, Diedrich! He throws himself at Diedrich's haughty entourage like a soldier ready to wage war. He attacks them first. This is just what they expected, and they're free to retaliate. He barely makes one movement before 4 pairs of hands grab him at once. Diedrich sneers and kicks your friend in the belly. Thomas gasps for air and starts coughing. You stand between them as Diedrich readies another kick. This nobleman's son cocks an eyebrow. Why do you mingle with commoners? He asks. Your father's a noble of the mantle. You ought to be friends with your own kind, not your equals, not the dirt beneath your feet. Before him, 4 boys hold Thomas down as he struggles furiously. The other students are watching you, frozen in fear. Diedrich haughtily extends a hand to you. He clearly expects you to shake it. I'm glad that's locked off. That's stupid. I don't know if the authorities are going to do anything, to be honest. Yeah, they are all assholes. You know what? We handle this ourselves. You do not shake his hand. Instead, you challenge Diedrich to display at least some dignity by fighting you one-on-one. That is, if he considers himself a nobleman's son, of course. Diedrich's face grows serious. There is no way for him to refuse this challenge in public. Diedrich makes a sign, and Thomas was released and pushed to the floor. He gets back on his feet, cursing and itching to rush at them again, but you hold your friend back. The teacher of Imperial Law comes into the room just in time. Everybody immediately returns to their seats. A day full of lessons begins. You keep daydreaming of Diedrich's face and how you're going to put an end to that nasty smile of his. Let's attach that bastard together and clean his clock. He hurt me, not you. The deal's been made, you tell your friend. This is a matter of honor now. Thomas huffs angrily, but agrees. Diedrich is already waiting for you in a narrow back street by the school, his retinue by his side. You walk forward and give him an opportunity to end this dispute once and for all. This is the nobleman's way. If you win this battle, Diedrich and the other children and nobles will never pick on the commoner's sons again. If he wins, you'll never stand in their way and protect other students. Oh, we better win this. You fight him one-on-one. Diederik walks forward uncertainly. You both roll up your sleeves. You raise your fists in a fighting stance. Diederik tries to copy your movements. You hit him first. Diederik does manage to land several glancing blows, but he is fighting a losing battle. He has never been in a real street fight. Thomas nods in approval. You've learned a lot from him. Yeah! Friendship! It does not take long for Diederik to stop fighting back. One more blow, and he squeals and raises his hands. You have won. Quite cleanly. You turn to the other noblemen's sons with a victorious look on your face. No more teasing. And if anyone else says so much as one word about Thomas, they'll pay. Diederik's former retinue disperses quietly. Hell yeah! Man, I'm so proud of you, Rufus. You did great. Ooh, tree. The theology teachers tell you more about Anazat. It is more than just a provincial capital. It is also a sacred place blessed by the gods. It is where the twin gods' first disciples spilled their blood, and from that blood grew the sacred silver tree. Its enormous foliage hangs over the city. You see its branches in the sky every day, but you never approach the trunk of the tree yourself. I'm imagining that's where the clergy live. Today, you'll be taking your first trip to the tree. Your class is visiting a service in the great temple by the tree's very roots. Thanks to the theology teacher, you and the other students will witness this landmark of the twins' advent up close. Everyone's excited. Excuse me. Soon, you and the other boys enter the slums surrounding the church district at Anazat. The roots are pulsating under your feet. They spread underground all throughout the area. Pathetic, cramped hovels and filthy streets surround the trunk of the tree. They are home to paupers, day laborers, and preachers. The people of the district bow humbly to you and point you towards the temple. They seem at peace, despite the abject poverty in which they live. All who live directly beneath the tree are filled with his divine grace, your teacher says. People come here to make peace with the world and their fate in it. Your class is unusually quiet. Everyone's listening to the rustling of the leaves and the underground beating of the roots. The sky above you is obscured by the tree's canopy. You find the Temple of the Twin Gods right next to the tremendous trunk of the tree. It almost seems a part of it. There's a crowd there. Pilgrims dressed in traveling clothes, paupers and beggars, common people of the city, and the occasional well-dressed noble. There are arguments among some people who are gathered in small, separate groups. The beating of the roots, does the tree have a heartbeat? I think so. It was made of blood, so sure, probably. It's a magic tree. I don't know what to tell you. Many people are wandering around, staring upward at the branches. The tree impresses you with its might and the calm emanating from it. You are filled with a desire to sit down and think of the world, to learn something about yourself, to touch the silver-white bark and hearken to the whispering leaves. You are distracted enough to fall back from the rest of your classmates. You notice a small path. It should take you right next to the trunk. A tall red-haired woman walks out of the crowd of pilgrims. She is wearing a worn white robe. She is no longer young, but her face is youthful and covered in freckles. Her hands clutch a book. You have never seen this lady pilgrim before, yet she looks at you almost as if she has recognized a lifelong friend. She beckons to you and says her name, Matilda, a preacher from Estinia. What she says next shakes you to your very core. It is commendable to see a young man so keen to learn the teachings of the twins, she says, yet you will never follow the light of truth within the walls of the temple. Inside you will find only the lies about the lots, the erring words of Prophet Isaías, sanctified by the passage accessories. And anyone who sets out to read the account of the twins' own lives know that they never so much as mention the lots. The red-haired preacher's words frighten you. They clash with everything you've heard from Mother, everything you've been taught at school. The lots are a lie? You freeze in fear. Should you argue with Matilda or ask for more information? Or should you treat her as a madwoman and catch up with your classmates? You suddenly feel a small warm hand grasp your own. You see a girl right next to you. She is just a little older than you, wearing a black dress, threadbare, yet almost spotless. Her hair is covered by a handkerchief with only a single golden lock showing. Her brown eyes are burning with rage, her hand pulling you away from the red-haired preacher. You stare in confusion at the strange young girl, your cheeks flushed by the sudden touch. There is just a bit of color on her cheeks, too. But then she starts speaking to you quickly. Don't listen to her, she's dangerous. Come to the temple with me. Only there will you see the truth. You stand there, surrounded by the crowd of praying pilgrims and the sounds of shuffling feet, torn between two people you've never seen before, and each of them expects you to follow her. But all the while you hear the whispering of the wind in the tree's branches. The branches reach out for you, almost as if the tree wishes to speak to you itself. Can you hear its voice? I would have needed an epiphany for this. This is interesting. It is potentially heresy. Boy, willpower really feels like a whole lot of self-determination here. You know what? Let's follow this one. You turn your back on the suspicious preacher and follow the girl inside. She introduces herself to you along the way. Her name is Jean. Jean? Jean. Jean. Oop. The temple is filled with light. It is separated into two halves, like the temple in your district, one for the commoners and one for the nobles. Yet this temple is far more grand than that one. You see two towering statues by the altar, carved with impeccable detail. They depict the twins. The elder bears an empathetic smile, and the younger has a stern look about him. They are depicted in the garments of pilgrims, frozen in their eternal journey to meet another. Wait a minute. Hold on, something's not right here. There's something in this illustration that bothers me. The elder seems to be on the left with the sword. The younger is on the right with the whip. But, based on our deaths prior, that should be flipped. Why is this wrong? I bet it's intentionally wrong. Yeah, it has to be, right? It has to be. There's a nagging feeling that I might be overthinking this, but I feel like I can't let this one quite go. That's definitely strange to me. And even the priest in the center is mimicking it. If it is wrong, is it willful or just misinterpretation? Well, I'm not going to think about that right now. I got my reading to do. My uncle is one of the priests in this temple. I'm an acolyte. I work in the temple. I help him clean the temple and cook food for the poor. I also greet the worshippers. People come here all the time. Many are lost, and they don't know where to go once they're inside, but nobody should feel lost in this place. The temple is for all the estates. Jean's face is no longer angry. The red-haired preacher is long forgotten. She's like a warm ray of light under the roof of the grand, bright temple. You ask her a question. Is she happy in her service to the twins? Of course I am. This is where I belong. Inside the temple, I feel the twins watching over me all the time. When I'm with them, I'm never afraid, never sad. She looks at the statues when she mentions the twins and smiles at them as if they are close friends. Do you feel it too? You too turn your eyes to face the twin gods. You feel the eyes of the elder upon you. They feel warm like mother's loving words. You feel virtue and order in the eyes of the younger. They feel like father's words of pride and respect. I knew it. I knew you could feel it. It's so easy when you're in the temple, but they watch over us all the time, you know. Just pray from your heart and remember how it feels all the time. Even back home, even on a long, long journey. Jean's voice is clear and insistent. As you listen to her, you just barely touch the palm of your hand that held hers a moment ago. Maybe it's just an illusion, but that hand feels warmer now. You keep looking back at the tree all the way home, but it's not the tree you see. You see with Jean's brown eyes filled with inscrutable wisdom. By the will of the twins, you are destined to meet. Gonna have to get that willpower back up somehow. Another school day has ended. You are making your way home, still mulling over the things you learned from your teachers. The founding of the empire, the eternal and unshakable rule of a single dynasty, 3 estates, each with their own rights. What an odd sort of order the world has, and yet so mysterious. At least it sounds that way when your teachers talk about it. Mother is waiting for you on the porch. She smiles gently when she sees you, and yet her expression still shows great concern. Father left on a trip to several distant migrant towns a few days ago. Since then, Mother has been trying to tell you something, but she seems uncertain. Son, could you put your things away and come pray with me? You join Mother in a prayer to the twins. She prays with fervent sincerity, her head bowed low, reciting the words of obedience to them and their greater design in a barely audible whisper. You repeat after her, just as she has taught you ever since you were a boy. When the prayer ends, Mother sighs and turns to you. Rufus, my son, you are 13 now. You'll be grown soon. It's time you learned about certain things that are important to our family. Difficult things. It's about your father and me, about our marriage. You gaze curiously into Mother's eyes. I'm sure you wondered about this before. Your father is a nobleman of the mantle, so how could he marry a commoner with another man's child? But, you see, Rufus, your father, when his first wife, Amalia Elborn, died, it was a painful blow to him. He lost the will to live, lost all purpose. He felt like his own destiny was cut short that day as well. And then he met me. You know the troubles I had in the past. I went to the prefecture as a petitioner to ask them for help, protection, justice. When I was a young girl, I worked at a small shop that sold crockery and dishes. A nobleman took a liking to me. May his name be forever forgotten. The twins know I was humble and honored by his lot to rule, but he took me by force. Oh, honey. Yikes. Gloria is that nobleman's daughter, but he was outraged. How could I have the gall to burden him with lowborn progeny? He turned me out on the street with that little baby girl in my arms. Mother's voice is shaking now. You take her hand tenderly. I had no home, no honor, nowhere to go, no one to help me. When I went to the prefecture, I didn't really think the judges there would help me find justice against my former master. But when Sir Robert heard my plea, his eyes met mine. And I believe that at the very moment, the twins themselves granted him the gift of their love. Your father told me there was nothing he could do to make that detestable nobleman marry me. But he would never abandon me and baby Gloria. And if I agreed, he would take me into his own home. Stream froze for a couple minutes. What happened? Okay, so Lydia is explaining the circumstances regarding Gloria and her previous... and Gloria's father. She's lowborn, has been her whole life. While she was working, a nobleman took advantage of her. And then she had Gloria. The nobleman booted her out to the street because he wanted nothing to do with it. Lydia went to the courts to ask for justice and met Robert there. Oh, kill him? Yeah. Doesn't matter what fantasy world building or universe it is, the noblemen almost always treat people like shit. I'm not surprised. Tears are running down Mother's cheeks. And I knew it, my son. I knew how much his honor and reputation would suffer. But caring for me brought him back to life. It's like he experienced another sacrament. He rediscovered his noble purpose, his lot to rule and protect and care for others. But his decision to marry me, he's still paying for it today. Your father had the courage to defy your grandfather, the founder of his bloodline. If only you knew how much he had to endure, my son. If only you knew the despicable rumors we heard about the Brants all over Anazot. It was only thanks to the efforts of Sir Gregor that the Brant bloodline managed to hang on to what little remained of its reputation. And now the noble families have all forgotten about that scandal, thank the twins. Mother's falls silent. She looks at you intently. Do you understand what she's telling you? My son, I'm not telling you this just to share the pain of my past. I have no reason to complain. Even Sir Gregor has accepted me through gritted teeth. But you need to understand the heavy burden our family must bear, including our scandalous marriage and Gloria's foul origin. And Gloria, she can never be a Brant. Even if the elder Brants agreed, the news would stir up the old scandal in the minds of high society. And if that were to happen, Rufus, they would see even your birth as illegitimate. Boy, this is heavy. What I told you just now is something you have to know, my son. You are about to enter adult life. By my lot, I must be humble. I cannot tell you how to treat your family. But may I ask you a question? Now that you know all of this, do you still see Gloria as your sister? Fuck yeah, I do! Like, boo! Boo! She's still my fucking sister, are you kidding? No question. Filled with determination, you assure Mother that Gloria is, and always will be, your sister. You want Gloria to be a Brant too. You want her to be part of your family. Who cares what the nobles of Anazot say? Mother beams with quiet joy when she hears this. Oh, Rufus, if only you knew how happy that would make me. To have our family united at last. However, the joy on her face quickly gives way to concern. But I already owe good Sir Robert a debt I can never repay. He's given my daughter so much. A home, an education, his care and advice. The Brant bloodline could suffer so much from Gloria's existence. We should all just learn to accept her status as it is. Just then you hear Gloria carefully knock at the door of Mother's chambers. Mother, Rufus, I couldn't find you. You happily greet your sister. Yes, she is your sister. No old secrets can ever change that. Mother gives you and Gloria a kiss on the forehead and returns to her prayers. You and your sister walk downstairs together. Mother is alone by her bedside now, thanking the twins with a quiet prayer for the Brant family they have given her. You hope they can hear her. Oh boy, that was a moment. Year 1131, fall, flash in the flame. You are 13 now. Another theology lesson. Today's sermon is about why the priests and why the clergy, as only one of the three estates with the right to interpret the lots, and guide the other two estates accordingly. Thomas sits next to you, huffing and puffing as he fervently writes down the teacher's every word. But you've heard all this from Mother many times before, so you take this moment to daydream a little. Father promised to take you to the capital once your studies were complete. But the teacher suddenly casts a stern look around the lecture hall and raises his voice at one of your classmates. A boy by the name of Brian jumps out of his seat. The teacher asks him to repeat what he just said. Brian freezes and seems to shrink. He tries to muster a reply, but nothing comes out. The class becomes agitated. Someone is about to get punished. The teacher now looms over Brian. The boy's cheeks are flushed and his eyes are covered in tears. You all watch the teacher's iron-bound book as he raises it sharply, about to strike. Brian shrieks and raises a hand in front of him. A sudden flash! The teacher screams and buries his face in his arms. His hair is ablaze and his skin is covered in horrible burns. It's magic! Real magic! Just like in the books about the rebellion. The class freezes in shock. There is a dull thud as the iron-bound book falls to the floor. Brian's hysterical laughter rends the silence. He stands up from his bench, fires in his eyes and sparks on his fingertips. There are screams now. Students run for the door. The teacher tries to extinguish his burning hair. Brian snaps his fingers and the book of Assatius on the desk turns into pillars of flame. He laughs and raises his arms and the curtains catch fire. Hello! Be gone! That is the second time in a week, actually. Am I famous now? Have the bots finally come for me? Oh shit, I might have to turn auto mod back on. Well, whatever. That's the price to pay, I guess. I'll look at it later. Okay, shit's on fire. Cool. Oh boy. The screams grow louder as the fire howls. Brian's face is tense and violent. His mouth is spewing flames and his whole body is shaking with laughter. He steps toward the door. You and Thomas glance at each other. He's gonna burn the whole school down! Your friend's determination makes you brave. You run behind Brian and knock him off his feet. You both tumble to the floor. Even though through his clothes, his body sears your flesh. Brian screams, convulses, and grabs Thomas by the shoulders with his burning hands. Thomas howls but stays put, then knocks Brian senseless with several fierce blows to the head. There are servants fussing around the room now. They put out the fire and take away the teacher, his body covered in horrible burns. You and Thomas remain next to Brian, who is lying on the floor, silent. Soon, 3 men in black cloaks enter the doors of the school, each bearing an edict sealed with silver. The Inquisition! You and Thomas are told to step away from the witch. They lock Brian's neck in a silver collar and take him away. One of the Inquisitors remains behind to tell the students what happened. That was magic, he explains. The ungodly power that twists the minds of men into savage instruments of murder. Only the sacred shackles of silver can hold it at bay. Only the power of the twins can save us all from its evil grasp. The next day, you are forbidden from ever mentioning Brian's name again. He is no more. Wow, okay.
What the fuck did I miss?
Did
Did the kid just, like, spontaneously combust?
he set a teacher on fire.
Oh, good for him.
He just suddenly learned how to do that.
He was like, yeah, that sounds fun.
Well, he was also about to be hit with a book.
Oh, well.
So it was partially self-defense, and then he went, yeah, power!
Let's go. Let's go, Brian.
Ugh. Okay. Ooh. He was ready to blow the whole school down? Yeah. Yeah, he was. Ugh. As much as I want to keep going, I think I gotta call it a night. I'm starting to hurt again. Where is there an autosave? You'll be able to continue from the last scene. Okay, that's cool. Ugh. Yeah, okay. I probably should have stopped like half an hour ago. Ow. Well, that was cool. I can't believe I made the dumb mistake of having to read again. That's a little bit on me, I guess. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the night. I need to let my voice rest. Whew. You're not precognizant? You didn't know? No, I didn't know. It was just something I had in my library. This is cool, though. I like this a lot. Might have to... I can't believe I'm saying this for the second week in a row, but we might have to change games again just so I don't keep doing this to myself. I don't mind talking I just can't do it for like 3 hours straight. It hurts. Get some tea for this. Get some tea and honey. That would help. That would help a lot, actually. So yeah, that's it for the night. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking along with me through this. We are having a great time. At the very least, I'm introducing games to y'all that hopefully you'll play on your own. That's a plus. This stuff's cool. The indie scene is full of cool stuff. But yeah, I need to take a break. So, there you go. Water. Hold on. Huh. Thank y'all so much for watching tonight. I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.
Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. A mirror right in front of me, that's where I found an empty glass, reflecting that's a truth. It's telling words not to be told. I need that mask. I'm a shapeshifter, masquerade, heart